Live. Hey, everybody. Stacey's on her way. She's coming. The thumbnail wasn't a lie. Let me know you can hear me. And today we've got several news stories. We've got some personal experiences that we are dealing with. It's just a slap in the face. We'll get into that. I've got some news about Twitter, and I assume, just from being slapped down before on YouTube, that these algorithms that are going to be released to the public on what they were doing, on how they were diverting real news about real things, and showing the wrong people the right people the wrong things. You know how it works. These algorithms are real. We fight them every day. That's why we ask for a thumbs up on these videos to try to break it, to try to get past it. Come on in, Stacey.
Sorry, I'm late. Hi.
We have been. I'm gonna get you in here. She has been busy as a bee in a tar bucket, guys.
Hey, it's good though. It's good.
Yeah, it has been wild. People are moving to gold and silver. We got a little delay here.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try that. Okay. So we're going to talk about Twitter. Bank worries fuel gold price rallies. There's some fear that's pushing
Precious metals prices.
people to call Stacey. That's her number up there, but you're going to have to be patient. She is working from from 8 in the morning till 10 at night.
Well, we kind of took the bad time to take a vacation, so I only worked for limited hours for the last week. So I've been kind of catching up.
Well,
so.
who would have known the banks would start failing? That's all you have to do is take a vacation and it'll all fall apart. So we're going to talk about that. And now listen to this. There's a potential crypto ban.
Oh, yeah.
From Coin, I forget who's, Coin Center posted saying a bill to propose could be used to ban crypto. And it's all in the name of banning TikTok. There's a lot of stuff about TikTok. I've got stuff, and look, guys, this is crazy. I've been carrying this in my pocket and folded up in my billfold because I thought it was so important what TikTok is actually collecting. This is straight off of their disclaimer.
Yep.
I forget what you call it, but it's straight off their platform. We're going to get into that because it is very important. We've got a toxic alcohol container that's toppled over in the Ohio River. This came out today. It was sent to me by a subscriber, and I appreciate it. I don't know if you want your name out there or not, so I'm going to keep it confidential. We'll talk about that a little bit. As of right now, it's a nothing burger, but it's just one more odd thing. And last, the U.S. government holds more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy and Tesla. We're going to talk about all this, and I know Stacey's got a bunch of stuff too. So, guys, thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment if you're a first-time subscriber or maybe where you're from. I like both because it really it creates that much stronger of a community when you know people are beside you.
Well, people actually commented today, and they said they liked it when you said, "Hey, where are you from?" And
That's
when
cool.
you guys put that in the comments, and they said they were able to connect with other people. So you guys put in the comments again where you're from, where you're listening from. Maybe you can find someone in your like-minded community.
You got Indiana, Florida,
Arkansas.
Wisconsin, Arkansas.
That's your hometown.
My fellow Arkansans.
Yeah. So I don't know. Where do you want to begin? Because let me just tell you.
It's awful.
So we did take a few days off, but we still worked while we were off. But it just seems like it just piles up. It's like it's piling up like daily.
People are moving, guys. Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alaska, Central Coast.
Wisconsin, but born in Alabama.
RCX, Ohio. Emily from Norman, Oklahoma. Practically neighbors. All right, I'm going to go back to you guys in just a second, but I really want everybody to get the news,
All right, let's go with it.
What do you want to start?
Let's start with what you got first, and then I'll fill in with some of the stuff we've
Okay, real quick. Let's rule out this this toxic alcohol submerged in Ohio River as a imminent threat because let me just read you what's happening. A navigational accident occurred around 2 a.m. today. A vessel tugging 11 barges with various product collided with a stationary structure. 10 of the 11 barges broke loose from their tug, with 3 ending up pinned against the lower part of the dam. Okay, 1,400 metric tons of methanol, which is toxic alcohol, is in the container, the one that's toppled over. It looks like it's sinking. But here's the deal. There is currently zero evidence of tank breach or any leaks. So, they make you read the whole article to get down to the bottom where it says, okay, this isn't really happening. It is. But here's the thing. They make the wrong decision 100% of the time, just like setting the chemicals on fire in Ohio. What are they going to do? Puncture the vessel and try to burn it off the top of the water? It is methanol. It would probably burn pretty good. But, they're so incompetent when it comes to this, dealing with this kind of stuff. The way they handled the last thing was just unbelievable. I could have thought of a bunch of different ways to maybe attack it besides spill it on the ground and set it on fire.
Yeah.
So there's that one.
Keep going.
Do you want to go to
so I think
Twitter?
Oh, let's go to that. But when you go back to that kind of stuff, when you talk about chemical spills and stuff like that, you would think that there would be something in place. It's going to happen. That's something that's going to happen. You'd think it'd be something in place that would not harm these residents. So you think it's just like, why wouldn't they do it? It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like almost on purpose, just to.
Yeah, I don't know. The incompetence is running rampant everywhere. We'll get into our personal issue in a minute.
Oh, have we had it today? Yeah.
Here's the deal with Twitter, okay? The algorithms they had in place are diverting. Now, let me read what Ted Cruz says. Ted Cruz, in a world where 7 out of 10 Americans receive their political news from social media, the manner which is, which content is filtered through recommendation systems has an undeniable effect on what Americans see, think, and ultimately believe.
They do.
Cruz said in a recent letter. And that's so true.
It is.
And we can look at TikTok. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself with TikTok because we're going to have to cover that again. But they see a whole different thing in China than we do. They see
they're only allowed to see what they
science
want them to
achievements.
See. Yep.
How you did in Taekwondo and all these other things. And we see stupid stuff. I can't even watch it. I actually deleted it off my phone. After I read you what TikTok's all about, you probably will too.
We see a lot of Hollywood social media, that kind of stuff. And it's very big if you look on TikTok and Instagram and that kind of stuff. Keep going. You're right.
Well, when Rome was falling, they kept the people entertained as well.
Oh, good point.
Parts of Twitter source code have been leaked, and the social media platform owned by Elon Musk is seeking information on the person responsible. Twitter has asked for a subpoena to force GitHub to disclose what was behind the leak. The leak comes after Twitter CEO Elon Musk said he would make public the social media giant's algorithms that are used to recommend content. Twitter will open source all code using tweets on March 31st. So there might be fireworks on that day. The move to disclose the algorithms is unprecedented as they are usually closely guarded trade secrets. So, that's a lot of time went into developing these things that would, persuade a person to watch certain things, start to believe certain things. And it was going on wholesale on Twitter. Elon Musk got a hold of it. The stock plunged. They've been fighting bankruptcy. It's down to a 20 billion valuation. It's half the price of it was, or more. It was supposedly worth 444 billion. So this is the algorithm thing is such a big deal, guys. And I want to get into TikTok just for a second. And like I said, I've been carrying this around with me because I thought it was so important. But
TikTok is actually really scary. I don't think people realize how much information is collected via TikTok.
It is the ultimate propaganda machine. That's what I got it titled. 9.6 trillion on Netflix, 22 trillion. Oh, man, it's all wrinkled up. I can't read it. Kids under 18 spend more time on TikTok than all other streaming medias combined. That's nutty.
It is.
TikTok collects your IP address, your user region, mobile carrier, model device, type, location, app, and file names. The apps and the files that are on your phone. Search history, keystrokes, what you're typing. The CCP knows what you like and don't like. They know everything about you. They can control anything they want people to see. TikTok is promoting twerking, worthless content, while in China, education and wholesome things. So
here's the thing, though. They sell this stuff to all kind of companies, all that kind of stuff. So once you get out there and you put your information out there, don't think that they're not selling your information. So all these companies, and all of a sudden you get these ads and you get this and this. They're selling it
by law.
Your email just got flooded. Remember all that stuff you said? Oh my goodness,
guys! If y'all been trying to contact me, I don't know what happened. Somebody sold all my stuff, and now I'm getting crap from everywhere.
Yeah, it gets sold. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, by law, the TikTok has to report all that information to the CCP.
They do.
They have by law.
Yep.
So it's all in there.
Yep.
So go check out your TikTok and look at the disclaimer and know that the people that are doing forced organ harvesting, killing Christians, and all this wild, crazy stuff that we can't think about because we get everything from China. We've been sold down the river to China. Is collecting all of your personal information, where your whereabouts and everything you can ever imagine off the device you're carrying around with you every day, everywhere you go. So I'm going to leave it there. Just watch out for TikTok. It's nutty.
Well, the CEO, I think, came out the other day because he's trying to say, oh, we're not that bad. And he's like, no, we don't have to report and all this kind of stuff. But we all know that's not true. But he actually made a statement the other day, which I thought was interesting.
Okay. So you remember I mentioned earlier about the potential crypto ban.
Yes.
Okay. Now check this out. This ties into the TikTok story. So Coin Center warns of potential for U.S. authorities to block, restrict, and ban entire asset classes, including cryptocurrency. Now, we've been talking about this, and it might be the best buying opportunity of a lifetime, okay? But the important thing is they're putting this Restrictions Act together. It was introduced to the U.S. Senate on March 7th and sought to ban technologies tied to foreign governments. Now, they didn't say TikTok, but it's widely considered a response to prohibiting the short-form video platform TikTok.
Well, they've been fussing about TikTok for a while, so that's nothing new. They have been. Yeah.
Again, this law is for your own good. This is for your safety again. Now, I'm not saying we all need TikTok. What I am saying is they're going to slip things in there, and that's what they're saying right here.
Okay, so they're doing it for your own good, and they slip something in.
According to the proposals, the Commerce Department at the White House would conduct a review of foreign technologies. Subsequently, the department would have the authority to respond as necessary, which may include banning the technology if deemed appropriate. Senator Warner, who sponsored the bill, said the proposals do not target TikTok specifically. However, it's what everybody's talking about. That's in quotes.
So basically, they're saying this bill would give them the right to ban technology if they deemed that it was.
Yeah, they can come up with whatever they want. But you got to remember, these people are evil.
So they're using TikTok as a way then to introduce this bill to control technology.
Just like the Patriot Act, just like all the other
So what is this bill called? Does it say a name of the bill?
The Restrictions
Act. All right, you guys, pay attention to that.
That sounds like something we ought to vote for.
It sounds really, really good. The Restrict Act. So you guys pay attention to that. It's called the Restrict Act. So on paper, they're saying yes, because we're all concerned about TikTok. If you look what it is, I don't even know whatever they're saying, what's going on in the comments. But if they say, hey, you guys, this actually sounds really great because we're going to ban TikTok. Even Trump was against TikTok. There's a lot of things about TikTok. But so using TikTok as a platform, they're going to slip in and be able to control any social media with the Restrict Act.
It raises concerns that the powers granted under the act could be utilized even if there is no foreign adversary.
Whoa.
Misinterpreting the wording to enact the banning of entire asset classes, such as Bitcoin. Quote, if such an unreasonable and overbroad interpretation of the Restriction Act was made, we'd be fighting in court. Okay, so what he's saying is, if this happens, we're going to fight in court. Well, during that time where they're fighting in court, because I'm pretty sure that's probably going to happen in crypto's future. It's just, I'm not saying I want it to, or it for sure is, but more than likely, they're going to put some crazy restrictions on it. I've been saying that for a year and a half. And like I said before, it might offer some really some deals on Bitcoin if you choose to speculate on wild-eyed, crazy things.
I just want to say hello to Miss Catherine. I see you there. Hi. Good to see you online, on live. That's scary, though. That's one of those things where they slip a bill in and they say, hey, this is for your good, because everybody is concerned about TikTok, and they're going to make more control. That's scary.
Okay, and
is there a chance that we can vote on that, or is it something that they have, or they've already put it up for vote, that they're voting in the Senate and Congress? I need to look into that.
So, that's possibly in the mail. I think it is. I think they're going to put all kind of restrictions and everything else to try to hold it down. They don't want anything to compete against the dollar, including gold, guys. And I don't think they're going to ban gold. I think that would be impossible. But we do have a super chat. Pat Milton.
Matter of fact, is I owe you guys a call back.
I appreciate that.
I owe them a call back as soon as we finish the live stream.
Okay, yeah. Well, she's back on the phone as soon as we get done.
I text you. I said, I got to go to live stream. I'll be back as soon as I can. And then we want to cover that. And then I'm going to cover something about the 401ks and what the Congress has passed and all this interesting things. And let's keep going, because it's a lot to cover.
Well, this is going to spill over into your gold stuff.
Okay.
Because she's been dealing with it a lot. And thank you for the super chat again, Mr.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Deborah.
Banking worries fuel gold price rally. Now, that is what's been happening for sure. It turned out going on a small vacation was the worst time in history.
Yes, it was.
To go last week as the banks were failing. The banking sector turmoil and worries about the economy have gold prices hitting $2,000 a troy ounce for the first time in a year. That's going to be a joke one day, I think. We're going to be rejoicing over those prices. The latest gains have been fueled by various investors sheltering in the haven, because that's what it is. It protects assets, it protects your network, it protects you from inflation and morons running the country. After the collapse of the banks, I'll say, Silicon Valley, Signature Bank, all this crap going on, I'm not going to get into all of them, spurred fears that the banking crisis could drag the economy into recession. Rightly so. People being prudent. At the same time, investors rush to safer investments, has driven down yields on government debt, increasing the relative appeal of gold, which doesn't offer bonds regular payouts. The slide in yields has also slightly weakened the dollar, making gold, which is priced in dollars, less expensive overseas for those investors. So, and that's the number one reason. The number one reason why I don't think gold will be outlawed or anything like that here, because if they did that, there's not a financially sound-minded person overseas that wouldn't sprint to gold if they knew that the dominant currency on the planet was about to outlaw it. So in my opinion, that's highly unlikely. But been wrong before, a long time ago. In a land far, far away. No, I'm joking.
Nah, you're kidding.
I'm just joking. And my timing's awful too. But, it could happen, but not likely. During periods of confidence being lost in financial systems or big drawdown periods, it tends to be when gold does its best. And it is surely doing that now.
Yeah, it's been a lot happening lately. By the way, I just want to real quick. Tony, he just said that you and I, if we arm wrestled, he thinks you could beat me. I'm gonna challenge you on that. I don't know. I think I could beat you.
Arm wrestle on the anvil.
Yeah, I think I could beat you. No, I don't think I could.
Maybe so.
So what else you got next? I want to talk about 401ks. I want to talk about what's going on with pensions. I want to talk about different things like that's been happening. Congress has passed this bill.
Well,
we've just got there's just so much overload, and we've just trying to catch up.
It's not hard to find news that's not being talked about on mainstream media. I'll wait till the U.S. government holds more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy and Tesla. Well, I want to get into. We've been talking about crypto for a while, and I want to move on.
Well, Congress just come out with a $1.7 trillion spending bill that Congress has passed, and it includes your 401k. And Chris and I were talking about this while we were on vacation, actually. And we almost did a video, but we were doing some research and kind of bouncing some ideas around or whatever, because my dad actually has a pension, and I'm a little bit worried about it. But here's interesting. So they're saying that it's going to raise the age from 75 to 72 that you can withdraw. So they're wanting to keep your money in longer. And then also, this is what I thought was interesting. Employers who start new retirement plans after 2025 are going to be required under this bill to automatically enroll workers into a 401k or 413 plans by 2025 at a rate of 3 to 10% of their pay. So used to, you could opt out. And I remember, because I had a 401k at one point, and I had the option. I could either opt out, or I could let them put their contribution in, but I didn't put any in, or I could say I wanted to put a certain amount in. But they're not going to give you that option anymore. They're immediately going to take your paycheck, no matter if you like it or not, and they're going to put it in a 401k or 413.
Yeah, they've got to have money to gamble with.
So that's what it kind of seems like. So then we've got more. Then it seems like it's going to be offering. They're saying, hey, you're going to have to spend longer in there. So they're saying they're also raising the amount of contribution because they want more of your money. They're saying that it's going to go up from like 6,500 to 66,000. You can look at the IRS website, but they're saying it's going to be from 73,000 now up to 83,000 now. It's all these different prices. But the bottom line that I took away from it is it seems to be that they're wanting your money. They're wanting your money in the stock market. And so they're doing whatever they can to do this, because used to you could like say, nope, I don't want to put my money in it, but you're going to have no choice now. You're going to have to put it into a 401k, and you're going to have to put it in the stock market.
401k is a ripoff. It's the guy that came up with it said it was a monster. Now it's not what he had in mind. And it pushes people in the stock market, and it looks like they're, they give you these little honey pots. Oh, we'll match it. Don't think that company's doing that for your own good, out of the kindness of their own heart.
I want to interrupt you for a second. So talking about 401ks and stuff like that during COVID, if you guys look back at your 401ks, these companies were allowed to stop matching your 401k, because they'll say, hey, you'll match it. You remember that we were talking about that? So they were able to stop that. So you guys need to look back at your 401ks, because there might be months and months and months that they actually did not match your 401k. They were allowed by the government to stop matching. And there's some companies that have come out now, and you guys can look them up. I think a couple of people have done videos about them. iHeart, there's another one. I think there's different companies that have come out and said, hey, based on what our profit is right now, that we're going to stop matching these 401ks. So if you guys have a 401k, I would highly recommend looking into it to see what they are matching. If they were stopped matching during the COVID, if there was any compensation, your losses, I think that's something to take a look at.
Yeah, and I heard the Economic Ninja talking about this the other day, and them not matching is just taking less money out of the stock market.
Yep.
That's another drag, because I think we're looking at probably a melt up. You hear that a lot, and a lot of people try to time it, but I think it's going to go way down first. I think we've got some real pain coming with interest rates. And as we bail these banks out with taxpayer money, because that's what it will be, we'll pay it back in the form of, interest rates and taxes and everything else you can imagine. But the banks are getting this cash straight to their bottom line. Mm-hmm. It's unadulterated, pure cash with no strings attached, straight to banks. So, it's wild. We live in a wild time, and I don't see how people don't understand. We're going through a correction, and there's one day there's not going to be anything they can do, and that's why people are starting to sprint to gold and silver. I heard Andy Sheckman the other day say out of his 33 years, he's never ever seen it like this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have him on the channel this week. He's busy just like we all are, but he's a wealth of knowledge as well.
Yeah, kind of explain what's going on, because you guys ask me all the time. We're struggling right now with trying to get products in. I do have them coming in, but unfortunately I don't have a lot sitting on the shelf, but I can tell you, hey, this truck's coming in at this certain point, so you will get the items in. But there's a lot of fear. But the thing is I don't also want to be a fear monger, but you have to say realistically, this is what's happening, I think, at the end of the day. Tell me what you think about this, because we've talked about this while we were gone. We were away for a few days, and we were like, hey, this is happening. This is happening. We're talking about the pensions and different things that's going on. We're talking about people. Well, the premiums are going up because availability is going down. We're talking about what's going on in the world.
Eventually push the price up into the stratosphere, because you can paper over it all you want. And for all the people that have fake gold, GLD and SLV silver on the stock market, there's probably 300 people that own the same ounce of gold. You will not get that delivered. So when they get through paper in the price, and people are actually, like the people now, are going to physical, and we start running out, it starts getting hard to source, that's when the premiums are going to start ticking up, and we might see nutty premiums in the future. I think that's what's going to drive the actual price, because the price is what somebody's willing to pay.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to have some price discovery in the precious metals and probably other things that are undervalued. Commodities in general, food being a big one.
Let's see. What did he say? I heard Chris say Monster Box for the first I knew. Then Stacey picked up the phone and ordered. Oh yeah, you guys did. Thanks. It was good to talk to you guys. I like seeing you guys on the. I can sometimes recognize your names as it goes by,
Boss.
and say hello. Yeah. Hi Emma J. Hi Jen. I need to actually call you and say hi. We got back a day late than we were supposed to. Oh, by the way, we tried to take a vacation on a budget.
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother video that we need to do.
We can get into that story next if you want to.
Well,
I want to talk about our tax debacle again and incompetent people that are trying to make us pay a bunch of money in taxes when it ain't right.
Let me just tell you, you got to stay on your game. I say this all the time, and I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but you have to make sure that you know what you're dealing with. You've got to file your paperwork. So they called me today and they're like, oh, we got your 2022 taxes. And they gave me the amount. And I said, whoa, hold on a minute.
Keep in mind, Stacey does all of it. She itemizes everything.
I do.
She's, all they have to do is
fill in the blanks.
Their job. It shouldn't be very hard at all. But you want somebody that actually does that for a living, because according to Robert Kiyosaki, your CPA should be the highest person on your highest paid person that you have. So we've been through 2 or 3, and so far all of them have been wildly incompetent. So though we still don't have it filed right, so now they're trying to dun us for tens of thousands of dollars again.
Yeah, well, we're gonna figure that out. But anyway, so I'm like, wait, back up a minute. Did you file this document? Oh wait, what? So then I got to call back. Oops, we forgot that. I'm like, seriously, how can you forget that? We sat at a conference table and I laid it all out for you guys, exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I needed you to file. Then they called back and they're like, oh, oops, we forgot. I'm telling you guys, if you are doing your taxes, you need to make sure you know what you're doing. I watched YouTube video after YouTube video of different things to watch, different things, categories to file, different things. And you have to do your own due diligence, because let me tell you, they don't help do it for you.
No, they don't. And we can discuss the resort trip if you want to.
Well, so we tried to take a vacation on a budget. We were like, all right, we booked this like 2 months ago.
So here's the deal, guys. And I figure a lot of you are going to think I'm crazy to go to Jamaica at a time where everything's falling apart. I think we got a little more time. Probably wouldn't have went if I known the banks were going to start failing. We had it planned months ahead of time. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, the food that was served at those places, I didn't figure it would be top notch. But I started to really feel bad, and
it was an all-inclusive. So let's back up.
It's all. I said that.
No, I don't think you did. So it was an all-inclusive. It was a great deal we got. Airfare was included. We're like, you know what? Let's just get away for a few days, because we haven't taken a vacation in actually a long time, like a real true just get away.
Right. Most of them were work trips.
Well, we worked half the day, but the half a day we were able to get away and just hang out. So we're like, let's go for it. It's not that bad. We weren't expecting the best, but
okay. Well, here's the biggest takeaway. The homeless people were there as well. Everywhere I've been lately, there's homeless people. Yeah. You can tell society has deteriorated. It looks like they had been starting projects and they would just stop. And the employees that work there that were taking care of absolutely everything I talked to a guy from the UK. He said they're just switched off. And that's what he did. And I couldn't come up with a better explanation. They were like robots, did not care, very just switched off is the best I can tell you. And it's a strange thing to know those people are fixing your food, everything you eat. And, it weirds me out thinking about it.
Well, it was a little bit of a scam, and that's kind of what we learned.
Big scam. Yeah.
So you booked this all-inclusive, and we were trying to go budget-wise. You're trying not to spend a ton of money. We're trying to be reasonable, live within our means. And when we got there was this coupon book that supposedly they had a couple of restaurants that if you go to these certain restaurants, or if you got a massage, or if you did certain things, if you went kayaking, that you got certain things, these coupons off.
$1,500 worth.
It was supposedly. Everywhere we went, no one knew how to use the coupons. It's like these things didn't even exist.
might as well have been toilet paper. You couldn't use
No,
any of it.
no.
Not saying I tried everywhere. It's like,
We
yeah,
tried.
we'll take our no, that doesn't work here.
We tried.
And then it was just over and over and over. It was one thing after the next. Everything was, they're just vultures. And I think I'm done. I'm done with all inclusive. But you just can't do anything cheap.
Well, we tried.
We probably, got what we deserve for trying. Maybe I'm not sure.
No.
I did bring home a $100 Jamaican $100 bill. That's worth about 70 cents. It's crazy. It's 150 to 1, the conversion rate. So I got to see some real Monopoly money. It looked a lot like ours. And I noticed the more Monopoly money I see, they get more colorful, like Canadian money. It really looks like colorful confetti.
It does.
On my 50th birthday, maybe we can fill a big pinata up with $100 bills and we'll just hit it. Wouldn't that be fun? I plan on putting $100 bills in my gym after we debase the currency. I'm going to wallpaper the walls with $100 bills. Until then, it's going to stay bare. Maybe some posters. I don't know. I usually put people I meet, your cards and information, and a little bit about anybody that impacted my life on my trips. I usually put a little something in there for you guys, and it's kind of a place I can go to kind of reflect back on things I've done, people I've seen, while I'm working.
Yeah, I like that.
It's going to have $100 bills all around those.
Yeah. It was. I told Chris, we were looking at the money, and I was like, "Wow!" We even talked to the driver that drove us from the airport to the resort. I think he said 70 American dollars a month. And these people, they live in poverty. And I told Chris, I said, we're so blessed to live in America. We take so many things for granted that we just don't even think about. And it was a really good experience for me. I really appreciated it. I enjoyed going there. I enjoyed the experience. I mean, it was a really bad timing as far as what's going on here, but
we've been ripping the whole world off with our currency.
We have.
The United States has done a really good job with that, and all we've experienced is prosperity for the last 60 years, and I hope we have a chance to get on track, and and maybe the next headline, instead of the United States leads the world in global prosperity, maybe it'll say the United States avoids catastrophe and brings back prosperity. I really hope it says that. But I just don't think the people that are in charge have the guts or what it takes inside of them to do the right thing. I just don't. I don't see it. Everywhere you look, I can't stand a politician. I just, it's just broken. It seems like it's broken. And I hope that it's not, but I feel like I'm going down the doom road. But it does. It seems like we're on our way to some real hard times when interest rates go above 10, when they get into the teens. Because remember, every 1% they go up, it takes $50 billion out of the consumer, out of the middle class.
Yep, it does.
Pocketbook straight. I mean, this is just gone.
Yep.
And that's how they're going to pay for these banks to get all the money, all your money, and my money, and our kids' monies, and it'll be all in the name of ESGism. We got to control the climate crisis. And I saw Janet Yellen talking. Why is she even talking about the climate? What does she have to do with the climate? She wouldn't shut up there. Hey, your time's over. Stop talking. And she's just babbling on and on about the climate and how we owe it to our younger generation. It's a broken record, guys.
That is a political agenda that they are talking, because it gets them points, because people love it to hear that kind of stuff.
It is. It's like points. It is.
It is. It's a points.
It's points towards the ESGism.
Yes.
Their God. Their green weenies new false God that they're going to worship, and whoever worships the ESGism the most, gets that much closer to the WEF and all the elite.
Yep.
And we call them elite. I'll see if a lot of people say, don't call them elite. Well, they
call themselves elite.
Yeah, that's how they think about themselves.
Right.
So let's get into some questions or comments. To all the crypto haters, when you buy a full Bitcoin at $10,000, then sell for $28,000, guess what? I want $18,000. half of what went directly into silver and gold, and I've got 9K left. That's really cool, Ben. That's always been my goal with crypto, is to a creative way to add to my precious metals holdings. Uh, I'm not very good at timing the market. Seems like you are. But as of right now, I will say this: as of right now, I haven't sold any crypto. I'm waiting for. I'm treating it kind of like gold and silver. I'm waiting for the big dips, and I like to buy things on the way down when it looks really bad. When they're, well, like I said before, when they're under trial, when they're in court, when they're, when it really looks bad, and people are going to call me crazy, just like they did when I bought Luke Oil. They said I was committing financial suicide when I woke up one morning and Luke Oil was $6.29 or something. I bought a little bit of it. I couldn't help myself. I've done it too many times,
Yep.
Take the road less traveled. And so far, it was financial suicide. But we've never been at war with anybody forever, So it might be a few years, and it might go to money heaven. If that's where money goes, I don't think so. It probably goes straight to hell. But anyway, what?
Because the way you just said that. Go ahead. We were on vacation. We actually were with some friends of ours, and the kids were laughing because Chris has sayings, and they actually wrote the sayings that he says down in their phones.
I got a lot of
He has little sayings that he says all the time, and they're like, he never has a same saying every time, and he does. He makes me laugh all the time with his sayings when I first met him.
Well, I learned how to talk from my grandfather, my grandmother, and if you ever been around older people in the South, they can come up and remember, and I can remember them too, and I can't remember the important stuff. But you
do. You have some great sayings.
I have some sayings.
You do. All right, what's some more they're saying?
I'm gonna catch up down the bottom. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
What do you do when both parties are trying to destroy your way of life? I live in Florida, and it's not as well run as people would think. HB 991 and HB 1316 are being proposed by Republicans. Scary stuff.
So what is HB 991 and HB 1316? I need to look that up.
Look it up. I'll talk about this for a second.
Hang on. Hold it there.
Both parties, get this.
HB. Go ahead.
They're both bad. To be a politician, you have to be a liar. That's the problem. It's these teams. It's, oh, I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican, and we don't agree. Now, given the real liberal far left people they got so open-minded their brains fell out a long time ago, and they don't even make sense when they talk. When you try to approach one of them with an open mind to try to, maybe they can make sense to me. I'll tell you a story in a minute about that. They can't. Republicans, there's conservatives, because there's a lot of rhinos out there. The conservatives make sense to me. Maybe you deem me as a conservative, whatever, but it just makes more sense to, I don't think they're all right either. But you got to vote, and you pick the less evil and go with that, And I don't like going to hear them speak. I'm for freedom.
Okay, so it sounds like end of it. The 991 is about allowing, and tell me if I'm right on this, James, but it's allowing journalists to basically bash people, say things, and not be held accountable. So tell me if I'm right on that. So if that's the case, then journalists just could come out and say anything they want, and they're not held accountable. So it does not apply to the defamation claims when the defendant is a professional journalist or a media entity. So you could just come out and say pretty much whatever you want. Let's see what the other one's about. That's actually really scary, because we had a friend of ours, that was arrested on false charges.
Oh,
and
man.
They were smeared throughout the media.
It was bad.
And lost his job. And
it was, lost everything.
Lost. And his family knew he was right, so they stuck with him.
And they finally got, it's coming out now that it was all a big scam.
Yeah, but still, he like a year of his life was gone, and to get that back is that's pretty scary. So I have to see what this other one is. They
followed him around forever, and he didn't do anything to deserve it.
Yeah,
that's the world we live in. That's why you don't want TikTok on your phone too.
Yeah. So the other one, let's see. Go ahead, keep talking, and I'll see what this other one is. But if that's the case, then journalists are allowed just to slander and not be held responsible. Then that's a big deal. So I didn't know Florida was putting that into play.
Okay, so
keep talking.
I'm supposed to go to an NRA get together in Indianapolis. I'm not going to be able to make it, and I know there's going to be a lot of people talking about, the Second Amendment and how important it is. Couldn't agree more. The only thing stops a bad man with a gun is a good man with a gun, period.
A pew-woo. What do you say it? What do you call it?
A pew-pew.
Pew.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say all that. But I'm live. I feel like I can get away with something. But the important thing that I take away from just about all of this news is the number one thing we're losing first is the freedom of speech. Number one, it's odd to me that they're going in order. Freedom of speech is all but gone. And then
number two comes next.
Number two,
amendment. Yeah, Second Amendment
is next. So if you can divert people and turn enough people against the Republicans, against the Democrats, and play that game back and forth, and by these algorithms, that's freedom of speech is history. And if you can get the guns, we're finished. Really, freedom of speech, and we're finished. But we've got a lot of things coming, like deep fakes. Deep fakes are coming. You can get on Twitter or anywhere you want to, and you can see Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on somebody, usually doing something stupid.
Check your text. So I don't even want to get into it too much, but I know that shooting that happened the other day, and I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to really get banned or get. But I think that was extremely politicized. It sounds like, and that is a horrific incident, and my heart breaks for a lot of that. But that's just one more example that they're probably, I'm sure, going to use political.
All right. Are you still emailing a weekly premium list?
Yes, I am. If you want to be on my weekly premium list, I am. I don't always get it weekly lately. It has been so random because the premiums are jumping all the time. I got one Monday. I emailed it out. And guess what? I just got one a few minutes ago. So as soon as I get back in the computer, I'm going to have to email that out again. So I did email one out Monday. But if you didn't get it, let me know. But I do have a weekly premium price list. I do. And let's see, my weekly right now, we're looking at $23.46 for silver. I'm at $1,965.40 for gold. It's holding pretty steady. It has gone up, unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of what we're holding right now. And you guys, like I said, when we were talking and when we were in Jamaica, you guys, thanks so much for being patient with me, because I know I was only working 2 or 3 hours a day because I was hanging out with this guy.
Yeah, but we're back.
Hanging out. But we're back. It's Monday through Saturday now.
I would not have went. All vacations have been canceled.
Well, it already had paid for it. Like, it was completely paid for. There was no canceling. So I was like, Chris, thank God they had good internet. They had really, my signal stunk. So I couldn't get text messages a lot. I struggled with that, but at least I had good internet. So I was able to email you guys. But that's kind of where we were. But at least I was facing the ocean. I was looking at the ocean when I was talking to you guys, making orders. So I can't complain.
And James Glass is saying HB 269 is going to pass. It is proposing hate speech aspects in the law. An attack on freedom of speech.
So basically they're saying.
Thanks for the super chat, MNJ, and for all you do. I really appreciate it.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she keeps us straight. She puts us, she's like, hey, you guys do this. But so obviously, so this HB 269 is going to, so they're going to, and so it's going to be, apparently, it sounds like from what you're saying, it's in a good way. They're going to protect hate. They're going to prevent hate speech, but they're going to actually limit your speech. All right, keep going.
All the time is for your safety. Check this out. KJ. Now this really resonates with me. The art of conversation is going away. I like to talk. It saddens me. I love to have conversation. I do too. And, I try to smile and say hi and be, have a conversation with just about everybody that's willing.
I agree with that.
I can tell that if a person is wanting to talk, and usually if you can get them to talk about themselves, they'll just, you'll get to know them. And even if they don't want to know about you, you still get to learn something, because every person I meet, I can take away something from. I mean, you can learn a lot from a homeless guy. I mean, you can learn a lot from people you would never expect. But you're absolutely right. The art of conversation, and it's going to keep dying in the metaverse, in the Thunderdome, where everything is digital, and I just don't see. And you got people that are drooling at TikTok. Really, it is so addictive. It hits every nerve.
It does.
Every.
They know how to manipulate it. You said it was an endorphin or a.
I can't think of it for nothing.
I know you were talking about it. It's something that affects your brain. That
it makes you feel good. What's that thing? What's the thing I'm trying to say?
It's not endorphin. It's
I can't think of it.
Question: what do you know about the Trusted News Initiative? I'm not sure I understand that. What
I
do you
don't know.
I spoke to a
Look it
homeless
up.
guy in Hawaii. Very interesting conversation. Yeah,
Dopamine. That's
that's
it.
it. Dopamine. Thank you. Thank you.
It hits every
We have
dopamine
had some
receptor.
interesting conversations with people just walking down the sidewalk before. Yeah, even the taxi drivers that we've had, just different things that are going on. Hear their perspective of what's happening in their life. And man, you guys, there are some people struggling out there.
Okay, now to finish off the end of the vacation and the takeaway. All right. So they canceled our flight, and they say it wasn't to incompetence, but that's usually what it is. They say it was for weather, maybe so. So we got hung up at the airport, and it's like, well, let's just go back out of security and all that, and we'll find somewhere close to the airport. And we found a adult
Oh, holy
all
resort.
inclusive resort that was 5 minutes away.
It was
Right.
so loud.
So we showed up at this place, and I'm standing in line, and I was sitting there just observing what was going on, and there was people standing in line in their bras and panties, and I thought, man, what have I got myself into? I mean, the other resort was real family. This was adult. Okay.
We didn't
And
know that.
nobody acted
We
like an
didn't know that.
adult about the time we were going to bed, about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I got a super viewer is asking, are mining stocks good? I'll get to you in just a second, MNJ. So this rocked on, and we went to bed. We were worn out, and there was screaming. All the
We were
adults
in bed
turned
like
into
9 o'clock.
14-year-olds, half naked, and it was an awful experience right there at the end of the vacation. And nobody gave a crap about what they looked like. Nobody cared how much flesh you saw or what kind of condition that flesh was in. I get too graphic, but it was just all out, don't care, wild. So
I was way
be
overdressed.
wary of that all
Yeah.
inclusive adult package. Okay, viewers asking, are mining stocks good? I think so, guys. We've been looking at the currency collapse. We're right in the middle of it. That's why we started selling precious metals. Because I believe in the space, and I know people are going to run to hard assets. Eventually, they're already starting to. And so far, we've been absolutely right. And as that happens, and as we run out of precious metals, they're going to have to mine more. They're going to have to mine copper more for electric vehicles, lithium, uranium. If we're going to have energy in the future, green energy for sure, it's going to be nuclear power. A lot of people don't like that, but I think that's going to be the difference between the lights coming on and not coming on. But mining stocks as a whole, we don't talk a whole lot about mining. It's mostly sketchy little exploration companies that most of them eventually will go to zero. Just know that on the front end. I'm about to bring one up that I am heavily invested in.
We do, though. There's every now and then you'll find one that you're interested in, and we actually do.
Well, I want to tell these people on the live stream.
Yeah.
Right now, Galantis Gold is my biggest holding. It seems to be a really solid company. I really think they do got to find. Like I said, I was involved in the private placement. I'm a shareholder. I don't really plan on pushing the stock or promoting it because the good companies don't usually need that. But that's one you could look at. And yeah, I do. I believe we're going to have to rip the face off the earth and mine it like it's never been mined before. These next 10 years is going to be a commodities bull run that we're already starting to see tick up. And I'm talking food, precious metals, things we absolutely have to run this country. And to, we're going to start getting away from China, and not to even talk about how much people are hoarding precious metals overseas. I mean, it is unreal. The masses and countries that are running the precious metals over there too, because they see that our currency dying, the BRICS, all those people love gold. And yeah, so yeah, mining stocks are on for me. That's my stick.
No, and the Canadian president just came out and said, you guys have called me several times about that today. I mean, there's just a lot going on in this whole industry right now, and this whole entire precious metals world. And so, yeah, you guys call me, give me a chance. If not, but it's been a little bit crazy. So what else we got to say? I think we need to do
Kenya's
arm
president
wrestling.
about the dollar. I'm going to do a video on that. I'll actually share the screen. If I could on live, I would. That is really interesting. The president, what was it? Zimbabwe? Kenya. Okay. Came out and said, we're getting out of it. We're going to make it better for our people and start getting out of the dollar. And, when you hear this stuff, it's like, it's happening, guys. We're watching history being made. Banks are failing. Nobody's really freaking out yet. You guys aren't, because you already know what's going on. That's why you're here. You're smart, and you're, watching this thing fall apart, and you're around like-minded people. If you're in the comments, you really are. So it's happening, and we're going to be a part of it. And hopefully, we talk about get out of debt, get out of debt, get food,
all the time.
Get your generator, get your throat switches, do all that first. Because you don't want to get overhyped and jump in and then the price dip. Try to get out of debt first, or actually get out of debt first before you start buying an asset that you think is going to go to the moon. It's really just to protect your wealth. But if everybody starts doing it at the same time, it gets hard to come by and the price goes up. So we're kind of seeing that now. But I actually do look for precious metals to take a dip. I just don't know when. And my timing's awful, so I very well could be wrong. I just know every time I think it's going to go to the moon, it goes the other way.
Well, I think there's a lot, though, to look at, too. Used to, you could look at the charts, and I think you could, compare it. And you could say, okay, now we see a dip, now we see that. But I think there's so many variables going on right now. What's going on overseas, what's going on with the banks, what's going on with the housing market. I think that changes the whole factor. By the way, I want to give a shout out to a few of you guys that have called me today, that you guys are this close to paying off your house, this close to being debt free.
So cool.
I applaud you guys, and you guys are so awesome. It was so cool to hear your stories. So you guys just keep on. I think it's so amazing.
This is ADM said, how quick could it get to Venezuela level? Okay.
Oh, that's a speculation question.
Well, yeah,
Depends.
but keep in mind, Venezuela really didn't have a tax revenue. They didn't have a bond market. I mean, they truly were a banana republic currency. We are the world reserve currency still. It's really a completely different thing. But the things that happened during the hyperinflation, I think will be close to the same, like food prices rivaling gold. Yep. I want to say apples went up 8,000x. And maybe it was 5,000. Eggs did like a 15,000x.
I remember you had the chart for a while.
Yeah, I had it right over there for a long time. But eggs and stuff like that, staples, were the only thing that really rivaled gold. And I always kind of took that as like, man, that's because you can do a lot without gold. Without gold, you can't do very much without food.
Nope.
And so far, we've been beating the stock market with the food we bought.
Yep.
So that's for anybody that's not prepping or has been kind of lax, because I get lax too. And when I came back from Jamaica, I started the freeze dryer up. I'm doing some strawberries. They're already done. I got the video coming. Just to try to learn it,
I said, what is their industry? We were talking when we drove around. Their industry is tourist, coffee, and what is maybe one or two other things that we could figure out. And they literally live in poverty. It was like when we went to the Dominican Republic. It's like when we went to portions of Puerto Rico. They live, when you don't have an industry, when you don't have something that's going to provide.
Well, I got coffee and.
But baby, the stuff that we saw when we drove by, they lived in poverty.
Well, yeah, a lot of them did.
And so when they came to work at those resorts, and I don't know, it made me thankful to live where I live.
$70 a day, be hard to make it. I felt sorry for every one of them, and we tried to tip them well. And it just, when you go to a foreign country, it really kind of.
We complain a lot here. We do. We complain. We complain about this. We complain about this. But you guys, at the end of the day, I just want to say we're so blessed and so thankful to live where we are, the opportunities that we have. And sometimes I think we forget about that. And yes, we need to continue to fight for our freedom. But heck, we live in a pretty dang good country.
These two need to be in a spinoff of the Yellowstone show.
What is
I haven't watched that. I hope that's a compliment.
I don't know. I've never watched the Yellowstone show.
Beef, beans, and bullets. All right, guys, we've been on here for 54 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
So I appreciate you being here. Leave leave me a like, subscribe if you like this kind of content. We're gonna keep doing these Wednesday night lives, and we're gonna try to do a Sunday or Saturday morning coffee.
Yeah,
and try
coffee catch up.
and catch up on some news that you might have missed,
Yep.
and some there's plenty of news. And
Oh, there's somebody
hang
said
out
it's
with
a
you guys.
compliment. Love you guys.
Oh,
I'll have to
good.
look it up. Yellowstone. Okay. All right. I've not
Yeah.
watched that. I've heard about it, but I've not watched it.
We can't watch TV.
No,
I'm serious. Stacey was talking on the phone walking through the door.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was late getting on.
I had a meeting today with some guys from Houston about some stuff we're building. Man, it is just wide open, and
We're blessed,
so blessed.
though.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
just it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding to do this with you guys. And you guys being here means a ton. So that's it. Have an awesome day, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Yes, we will.
Later.
Hey, babe.